It all started for me in 2011 at Glastonbury Festival. I was a litter picker there. I saw this 4,000 pile of wellies on the floor, and that was going to get chucked into landfill. And I got really angry, but I'm not very good at getting angry, so about 5 minutes later I was like, right, what am I going to do with these? So I then decided to bring them all home. I dumped them in my parents' backyard. Obviously they weren't too happy about it. Over the next few months I just started experimenting with the welly material, just see what I can make out of the wellies. I then thought of these bracelets. And here are my products. So that's the welly bracelet that I started making, just as a hobby really, not really knowing what I was going to do. And then I started selling them on a small-scale basis. Eventually, more wholesale orders coming in, and I thought, wow, this could actually be a business here. So then I started making my drinks holders here. They sell really good at festivals, and then they can hold a bottle or a can of beer. And then also my notepads. At this stage, I realized I needed some sort of funding, so I went to Prince's Trust and got some money from them, which helped me get my website, and that means I could sell online and advertise online. They also helped me out with a mentor, which meant I could learn all the stuff about finance and accounts, which I had no idea about. Over 2012, I just started making more of these products, selling online, and then ironing out all the creases in my business, because if I wanted to expand, I didn't want any problems coming up in the future. By early 2013, since the whole start, I knew I didn't want to cut up any good wellies, because I'm all about recycling. I come from a family where we love recycling everything, being really eco. So I kept all of the full pairs to one side, and by 2013 I had about 500 pairs ready to give to anyone. So then I went online, asking around who would want these wellies. It turns out in Britain no one really wanted them. You know what we're like, we don't actually want anything secondhand and dirty or anything like that. So it turned out in Kenya people actually wanted decent footwear out there, so I then organised these 500 pairs to go out to Kenya. I came across my biggest hurdle then, because the customs wouldn't allow the wellies through, like 2 days before they're supposed to get sent. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do now? So I had all this money that I raised from selling the products, and I thought, I'm going to bring this money out with me, go to Kenya, and see what I can do out there, directly funding certain things. I then bought like uniforms and shoes for a load of school children, and then also started a chicken farm out there that now is like self-sufficient, so the money from the eggs goes towards buying sanitary pads for girls each month. So we supply 200 girls with these sanitary pads, which is really good because now I don't have to fund that anymore. It's already started and it's going to carry on going. In 2013, that's when I went to Glastonbury again, and just as I got my UnLtd funding as well, so I was on a buzz at Glastonbury. I thought this is great, and I got more wellies, got another 4,000 wellies. That's when I also met Small Steps Project, who are an amazing charity who collects celebrity footwear, like Elton John and Madonna. And then they auction them off, and then that's what funds what they want to do, which is send thousands of pairs of footwear to people living on landfills across the world. So I thought, great, this is exactly what I want to be part of. So we started teaming up, and now that we're sending all the wellies complete pairs from the festivals that we collected at to Romania. And then this year, we're working out on Reading, Leeds, Download, and Glastonbury. And imagine if Glastonbury just had 4,000 wellies, then we're going to have ample amounts this year. Over the next year, I'm going to be working on recycling the tents as well, because I don't know if you know, but there's just thousands of these tents get left behind. All the complete ones, they get given to charities and stuff, they get used again, but there's the high majority are just broken, because you know all the cheap tents you get from Argos, they just break on the first use. So all this material is getting chucked away, and that got me angry too, so I'm going to just try and recycle them into some sort of shopping bag, like Bags for Life. But that's my biggest hurdle for this year. By October, I want to have this range online to be able to sell them, and then see what we can do in Romania then, maybe start up some more projects in Romania to be self-sufficient, and see how it goes. I've got one tip that has helped me through this whole venture. One of my big problems is motivation, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have that problem too. Some days I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything, but you've got a huge list of things to do, and you just want to watch Netflix all day or watch films. But I've got this motto that I keep in my head, and I stole it from Nike, but it was perfect. Just do it. So on these days I'm really low motivated. I'm like, Steph, just do it. Come on, you can do it. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I will. So that's what I use. And maybe you guys could think of a motto you could have at the back of your head whenever you've got those low motivation days, and just use that. And then, because we're all asking questions at the end, my question is something I do with all my friends. Every time I meet them, I'm like, what's your top 5 things that happened today? And it's more to do with you do get those days where everything's going low, and especially in these social entrepreneurial kind of circumstances, a lot of things can go wrong, and you do need to keep your spirits high. And so that's why I asked myself, what's your top 5 things that happened today? And no matter what kind of day you're having, you do have top 5 things, and it's really nice to have a pick-me-up from the good things that have actually happened that day. Yeah, I think that's everything.